Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you may be in the world. I'm Sara Jane. This is Thoughtful Nuggets and Pearls on Gift of Healing TV. And our topic for this program is the tunnel. The light at the end of the tunnel is not an illusion. The tunnel is. So, okay, let's start with what is a tunnel? And so maybe the tunnel isn't such a bad thing, because what are tunnels used for? If you're on a train, the tunnel usually goes through a mountain rather than having to go up it and over it or round it, which is usually quite a detour. If you're in the car, similar type thing. What a tunnel stops you from having to do is go all the way round or all the way up and over. So is a tunnel such a bad thing? It is a way through. And yes, it is a matter of going through and keeping going. And if you've got a really long tunnel, yep, maybe you don't see the light when you first enter it. And I know the tunnel that we're talking about in this, the tunnel being an illusion, is the tunnel we feel we're in when maybe things aren't going quite the way we'd hope they'd go. Okay, you want to say things are going wrong, your life seems to be falling apart. But there's that saying, isn't there? If you're going through hell, keep going. It is about going through something, not trying to detour. You may be able to have avoided something, but how long would it have taken you to get round or to get over? So there is always light, even if there doesn't feel like it. But there doesn't have to be a tunnel any more than there has to be a wall for a door to be in, any more than there has to be a wall for there to be a window that you can open. We use them as metaphors of struggle, I suppose. And it is up to us how much of a struggle we make our lives. So do you feel you are struggling at the moment? But where is your concentration going? Are you concentrating on the dark, or are you concentrating on the light? Are you concentrating on the bad stuff rather than concentrating on actually all the good? And I know when the bad stuff is happening, it is very difficult to even find the good, let alone put your concentration on it. But there is always good. If you can, go and have a walk in nature and just let go of all the stuff that is going on around you. And if it's raining, just feel that rain on your face. Feel the breeze. If it's sun shining, great. Feel the warmth of the sun. And realize just how wonderful it is that you can do that. And if you're in amongst the trees and the autumn colours, the leaves, if it's dry, crunching under your feet, allow the child in you out to play. Connect with that younger you and allow the child. Allow yourself some creativity. Now, it's definitely, well, I don't know how long it's been around for, a year or two now, the fad of colouring. As a child, we used to love getting our colouring books, getting our colourful crayons out. Felt tips as you got a bit older. It didn't exist initially when I was doing the colouring in. And I was only thinking about the colouring in today because of thinking about colour in our lives. And I thought, maybe I should treat myself to a book. And I think I've got some crayons somewhere. Maybe I have to try and find them and fish them out. It's giving ourselves that permission to have a break from what is going on in our lives. I like to switch off, and I like doing things like Sudoku and code words. But I was thinking, maybe the colouring would be good because it's actually colourful. And it doesn't matter what colour you make things. Maybe as a child you were told the sky wasn't red. Well, have you looked at a sunset? Maybe it is red. It wasn't green. Ever seen the northern lights? There's an awful lot of green in the sky with the northern lights. And let your imagination run wild. Do things topsy-turvy. Do things the way that you wouldn't normally. Do things out of the ordinary. Allow the creativity. And yes, for the saying the light at the end of the tunnel is not an illusion, the tunnel is. Absolutely. Help it to clear that tunnel and realize that it's actually just an aspect of your journey. But we use the word journey. Life's path, life's journey. And I know that I have walked through tunnels. I'm fairly certain there was one I walked through in Switzerland to get into a gorge. Maybe my memory's confusing me, but I don't think it is. And then walking through the caves, Trummelback Falls, I think it's called in Switzerland. And no, that's the one to do with Sherlock Holmes, Trummelback Falls. It was another one then. I don't know, I get confused. No, that was the Rickenback Falls. Yeah. Anyway, I'm confused. Trummelback Falls, yes, that's definitely within a cave system. Sometimes they can be a really exciting part of the journey. It's like at night, dark night. You look out on a really dark night, especially if you haven't got light pollution. And I have been blessed to see the Milky Way. A really dark night, driving from wherever it was to Yosemite. Sometimes the so-called dark can show us so much more. That is a learning curve, that is a growth that I actually see as a gift to ourselves. And we give ourselves some tough gifts at times. But it's called tough love, isn't it? There's a thing called tough love. And it isn't easy for people to give. And I get it. It's not easy to receive either. But actually that can be the greatest love. And there's a saying here, Desmond Tutu. Hope is being able to see that there is light despite all the darkness. And I think a really dark night and being able to look up at the stars and the moon and the sky is a classic example of that. There is always light. There is always light. Put colour into your life. See the struggles you are going through as being a real gift. Maybe a chance to start again. You are amazing. You really are. And this is repeated time and time again when I channel from the mythical beings and from the dragons. We are all We are all amazing when we trust. And the dark isn't always the darkness that we see it to be. It can bring us to a much, much greater light, much better place, and can be a shortcut. A tunnel in real life, in the so-called real world, is a shortcut. Maybe that is a way to think about it. If you think you're going through a tunnel at the moment, it's a shortcut. It might be dark, but it's a shortcut. I wasn't too sure what to expect from that this evening, but I found different things coming out in that I will go back and listen myself. I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope it's given you some food for thought. And please do go and check out other Thoughtful Nuggets and Pearls videos on the giftofhealingtv.com. Thoughtful Nuggets and Pearls page is there. 80 plus videos there now. Lots of different titles. I try to keep the titles very short. So you never know what's going to come up in any of them. So I hope you will enjoy that, explore everything else that we've shared as well. Please, if you've got any suggestions of something that you would like me to cover, happy to do that. If you've got anything you would like to share to do with this or any of the other programs, either on the website, on the comments, or please feel free to email me at giftofhealingtv@gmail.com. And I look forward to hearing from you. Feel free to. Program next week, rushing, hurrying. In today's rush, we all think too much, seek too much, want too much, and forget about the joy of just being. I hope you will join me again. In the meantime, have a wonderful rest of the week. Love, peace, and light. Namaste.